welcome to 6-1 News and Sport. The headlines this Saturday evening. Russia targets a DIY superstore in the city of Kharkiv as casualties mount. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky describes the attack as vile. Israel continues to bomb Rafah despite UN court ruling. Taoiseach says the ongoing offensive is utterly reprehensible.
Netanyahu needs to desist immediately. This is the clear view of the world. He needs to start listening.
And a major rescue operation is underway after landslide buries hundreds of homes in Papua New Guinea.
And coming up on a bumper Saturday of sport, Leinster are beaten by French giants Toulouse after extra time in the Champions Cup final in London. And joy for Manchester United in a Derby FA Cup final. Eric Ten Hag's side take the title against City.
Russia has bombed a hardware superstore in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, killing at least 2 people and injuring dozens more in an attack condemned as vile by President Volodymyr Zelensky. Rescuers are still searching for survivors in the giant facility, with fears hundreds of people may have been inside when it struck.
A vile attack on a civilian target. Ukraine's assessment of the latest Russian strike in Kharkiv.
And there we take a break. Still to come, stepping out in style, dog lovers descend on County Meath for a barking good time.
And coming up in sport, we'll have the day's camogie results from the first round of the championship. Elsewhere, Adamida is the hero as Celtic complete the league and cup double in Scotland. And disappointment for Leinster, who have become the first team to lose 3 Champions Cup finals in a row, beaten by Toulouse today.
Welcome back.
Thanks very much, Kate. Good evening. Yes, Leinster have been beaten in a dramatic Champions Cup final against Toulouse this evening. Tied at 15 apiece in normal time, the European showpiece went to extra time in London. Claire McNamara is there for us.
Well, we've had quite the remarkable afternoon here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Europe's best 2 went head-to-head and they gave it everything. The game went to extra time. We had TMO decisions, a yellow card, a red card, but at the end of it all, Leinster have come up short again, as Eamon Horan now reports.
The drive for 5. Leinster in London looking for a 5th European title. No easy task toppling Toulouse though. The formidable French, one of the most successful teams in the history of the competition. Straight away, a let-off for Leinster. Antoine Dupont was bundled out, so no try awarded. Blair Kinghorn kicked 2 penalties to leave Leinster trailing. The French fans the happier. Not all one-way traffic in Twickenham.
Beautiful strike, 6 points to 3.
Leinster behind 9-6 at the break. Ross Byrne narrowing the gap. A tight Twickenham tussle once more in the second half. Leinster off the hook again. A foot in touch again.
No try.
No Toulouse try. With the match then level, Kieran Frawley's drop goal effort sailed wide. 15 all. Extra time beckoned. With James Lowe sin-binned, things would soon get worse for the Irish province.
Now chance and a bit of movement out to Chuka Barnes on the outside to Mathis Lebel. Lebel for Toulouse.
Richie Arnold was given a red for this. Then Leinster bundled in for a try. This clash of Europe's elite by no means finished, it seemed. Toulouse penalties in the second period of extra time would prove decisive. 31 points to 22, the final score. Defeat is Leinster's lot again. The aristocrats of French rugby rule Europe once more. Eamon Horan, RTE News.
Yeah, huge disappointment here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for Leinster. It's another final without silverware from them. Donal Lenihan is with me for his initial reaction. Donal, another gut-wrenching defeat. This one went all the way. Can you try to sum it up for us?
It is almost impossible to sum it up. It is an incredible final. It promised so much on the way in. It gave us everything. 2 teams full of gladiators. It looked as if Toulouse had it when James Lowe had the yellow card in extra time. Then the Richie Arnold red opened up the game for Leinster. Unfortunately, they just gave away penalties at the wrong time. I think when they look back, they'll have serious regrets about not building the score, not taking the penalties off those options when they went to the corner, because if you look at that, that's exactly what Toulouse did. They never debated any decision when they got a penalty. It was always 3 points, and that was the difference, unfortunately, at the end of the day. But I really feel for those Leinster players, it was a phenomenal win. Toulouse, their defensive effort, I think, worthy of winning a Champions Cup.
That's it, isn't it? In a cup final, it's all about the points on the board, and they left them behind.
Yeah, look, you only have to get over the line by an inch at the end, and I really thought that Arnold one, when they would have gone 13 ahead from the penalty, that was the lifeline for Leinster. They looked fresher, they looked sharper, but yet from somewhere Toulouse summoned the energy, and it's hard not to admire them. Although, it is gut-wrenching for Leinster, but it was a phenomenal. We did have the two best teams in Europe playing. What a showcase they gave in an incredible arena.
Certainly was. Thank you, Donald, for your thoughts. An extraordinary final, but unfortunately for Leinster, they will go home without the silverware.
Well, it's a busy evening in the All-Ireland Football Championship. Armagh's game against Westmeath got underway at 6 o'clock. The Ulster side ahead by 2 points early on there. In Croke Park, Dublin are up against Roscommon. Desi Farrell's side were leading by 3 points heading into the final quarter just now. Louth taking on Meath, the wee county well in control there a short time ago, 3-5 to 5 points. Later this evening, Donegal meet Tyrone in Ballybuffet. Now, round one of the All-Ireland Camogie Championship today as well. Wins for Clare over Down, Cork beat Wexford and Galway beat Dublin. In Group 1, the Tipperary-Waterford game has just finished up in the Rag. Tip won 119 to 213. Elsewhere, Derry beat Antrim and Kilkenny had a huge win over Limerick. Manchester United have won the FA Cup at Wembley. 2 teenagers scored in their 2-1 victory over Manchester City.
For only the second time, the same 2 clubs contested successive FA Cup finals. A year ago, Manchester City were in front after 12 seconds. It took almost half an hour for the first significant event of the 2024 decider.
Ortega's come out, and it's a gift of a goal! Paul Garnacho!
Alejandro Garnacho was one of 2 19-year-olds in United's team. The other was Kobbie Mainoo.
Garnacho has Bruno Fernandes. Oh, what a ball! And Mainoo scores! Never mind a double-double. It's a Manchester United first half double.
Erling Haaland struggled to make an impact, but he came close to cutting the deficit in half. So too did substitute Julian Alvarez. A late revival was a possibility after an 87th minute goal from another substitute, Jeremy Doku. But for City, that was as good as it got.
This is, for me, a project. When I came in, I can say it was a mess. Yeah. And we are now better. Underneath, I always said we are better, but we are by far not where we want to be.
The win secures Europa League qualification. Eric Ten Hag's future is likely to become somewhat clearer in the coming days. Dave Kelly, RTE News.
Well, Irish international Adam Ida was the hero as Celtic won the Scottish Cup today. The Cork man is on loan from Norwich City. He was brought on as a second-half substitute, and his 90th minute goal gave Celtic a 1-0 win over Rangers to complete the league and cup double. There was great drama in the closing stages of the Tattersalls Irish 2,000 guineas at the Curragh. The Richard Hannon-trained Rosalian looked beaten, but the 11-10 on favourite had one final flourish towards the line.
And it's Hatem who leads less than a furlong down on the Guineas, with Rosalian trying to stay on the near side. Hatem and Rosalian with River Tiber in between. Hatem and Rosalian go towards the line together. Richard Hannon is going to get his Guineas. Rosalian on the near side of Hatem. Rosalian and Hatem go by together. What a result for Richard Hannon. River Tiber's back in third, then unquestionable. Take Me to Church on Atlantic Coast in front of Mountain Bear.
Stage 4 of Ross Talchin took the riders from Horse and Jockey in Tipperary to Kildare Town, a trip of 143.7 kilometres. And the stage was won by Tom Martin of the wheelbase Cabtech Castelli team. Will Perrott was second and Jim Brown third. There was no change to the yellow jersey as Dom Jackson maintains general classification. Oran Dugan did, however, take the green points jersey from his teammate and the defending champion Dylan Corkery.
Hello and welcome to the main evening news and sport. The headlines. At least 4 dead and more than 30 injured in Russian strike on a DIY superstore in Kharkiv. Ukrainian president describes the attack as vile. Israel continues to bomb Rafah despite UN court ruling. Taoiseach says the ongoing offensive is utterly reprehensible.
Netanyahu needs to desist immediately. This is the clear view of the world. He needs to start listening.
Leinster are beaten by French giants Toulouse after extra time in the Champions Cup final. And joy for Manchester United in a Derby FA Cup final. Eric Ten Hag's side take the title against City.
I tell you this the whole year. When the players are fit, we can play good football.
Russia has bombed a hardware superstore in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv.
I just don't know. He was just the most amazing giving person.
The exhibition will stay open for the next 3 weeks, after which it's hoped a more permanent home can be found for a treasure trove of GAA lore. Pat McGrath, RTE News, Crossmolina, County Mayo.
Tributes have been paid to American professional golfer Grayson Murray, who has died at the age of 30. Murray was a two-time winner on tour, including in Hawaii this year. He withdrew late in his second round yesterday at the Charles Schwab Challenge in Texas, citing an illness. Announcing the news, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan said players were heartbroken and devastated to learn of his death. Time for Saturday Sports News now. Here's Yvonne.
Thanks very much, Kate. Good evening. Leinster are tonight reflecting on yet another Champions Cup defeat. Leo Cullen's side lost out to Toulouse in a drama-filled final in London. Antoine Dupont and his teammates pulling away from the Irish province in extra time.
The drive for 5. Leinster in London looking for a 5th European title. No easy task toppling Toulouse, though. The formidable French, one of the most successful teams in the history of the competition. Straight away, a let-off for Leinster. Antoine Dupont was bundled out, so no try awarded. Blair Kinghorn kicked 2 penalties to leave Leinster trailing. The French fans, the happier. Not all one-way traffic.
Beautiful strike, 6 points to 3.
Leinster behind 9-6 at the break. Ross Byrne narrowing the gap. A tight Tottenham tussle once more in the second half. A foot in touch again.
No try.
Leinster off the hook again. With the match then level, Kieran Frawley's drop goal effort sailed wide. 15 all, extra time beckoned. With James Lowe sin-binned, things would soon get worse for the Irish province.
Now a chance and a bit of movement out to Chuka Barras on the outside to Mathis Lebel. Lebel for Toulouse.
Richie Arnold was given a red for this. Then Leinster bundled in for a try. This clash of Europe's elite by no means finished, it seemed. Toulouse penalties in the second period of extra time would prove decisive. 31 points to 22, the final score.
40 huge rounds into this campaign. Listen, there's two, we talked about beforehand, like 2 very good teams going at it. So it was probably a game where you just like taking opportunities. That was, it's going to be so important. So we had plenty of opportunities, couldn't quite nail some of them that we have. Toulouse scrambled well. They pushed the boundaries at times in terms of defending their own try line, and they dug in there well, I thought.
Defeat is Leinster's lot again. The aristocrats of French rugby rule Europe once more. Eamon Horan, RTE News.
Early games now. It's been a busy evening in the Football Championship. The Athletic Grounds was the venue for Armagh's game against Westmeath. Kieran McGeeney's side won by 5, 16 points to 11. Dublin beat Roscommon at Croke Park. The Connacht side was competitive for much of the game, but goals from Colin Basquel and Con O'Callaghan helped the All-Ireland champions pull away to record a 219 to 13 points win. Louth had 10 points to spare over Meath. A goal from Sal Mulroy and 2 from Craig Lennon would prove crucial in Inniskeen. The wee county too strong for the Royals. It's all of 49 years since Louth have beaten Meath in the championship. And in Ballybofey this evening, the Ulster champions Donegal had a handsome win over Tyrone, 21 points to 14. Jim McGuinness's side led by the minimum after a tight first half. It was 10 points to 9. They pushed on then in the second half to claim a 7-point win.
Delighted that we're able to express themselves tonight and really go for it, and probably played, with that sort of that confidence that you get from winning a provincial title. And so yeah, we're delighted. Obviously now it's only one game in the group, but it sets us up nicely.
Round 1 of the All-Ireland Camogie Championship today. Wins for Clare over Down, Cork beat Wexford and Galway beat Dublin. In Group 1, the Tipperary-Waterford game has just finished up earlier in the Rag. Tip 1, 119 to 213. Elsewhere, Derry beat Antrim and Kilkenny had a good win over Limerick. United got the better of City in today's Manchester Derby FA Cup final. The win denies City back-to-back league and cup doubles.
A bright conclusion to Manchester United's season, but Eric Ten Hag remains in the dark. His second trophy as United manager may not be enough for his tenure to continue into a third campaign. It was a day when Manchester City seemed somewhat subdued. A defensive mix-up led to the opening goal.
Ortega's come out, and it's a gift of a goal! Paul Garnacho!
One 19-year-old gave United the lead. Another made it 2-0. Alejandro Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes were involved in the build-up. The finish came from Kobbie Mainoo. City had second-half opportunities. The goal finally came from substitute Jeremy Doku. Time, however, was against the Premier League champions, and an equaliser proved elusive.
I want to play the best football. I want to play dynamic football, attacking football. In the end, you have to win games and you have to win trophies.
Special for everyone. Obviously, we know the manager is being under too much scrutiny, but it's part of being at Manchester United. Players, staff, they all know that we're going to be under this manager. He's experienced enough.
Today's game was the first time since 1885 that the same two clubs contested successive FA Cup finals. United's win secured Europa League qualification. Dave Kelly, RTE News.
Irish international Adam Ida was the hero as Celtic won the Scottish Cup. The Cork man is on loan from Norwich City. He was brought on as a second-half substitute, and his 90th minute goal gave Celtic a 1-0 win over Rangers to complete the league and cup double. Stage 4 of Ross Thalchin took the riders from Horse and Jockey in Tipperary to Kildare Town, a trip of 143.7 kilometres. And the stage was won by Tom Martin of the wheelbase Cabtech Castelli team. Will Perrott was second and Jim Brown third. There was change to the yellow jersey as Dom Jackson maintains general classification. Oran Dugan did, however, take the green points jersey from his teammate and the defending champion Dylan Corkery. There was great drama in the closing stages of the Tattersalls Irish 2000 Guineas at the Curragh. The Richard Hannon trained Rosalian looked beaten, but the 11-10 on favourite had one final flourish towards the line.
And it's Hatem who leads less than a furlong down in the Guineas, with Rosalian trying to stay on the near side. Hatem and Rosalian with River Tiber in between. Hatem and Rosalian go towards the line together. Richard Hannon is going to get his Guineas. Rosalian on the near side of Hatem. Rosalian and Hatem go by together. What a result for Richard Hannon. River Tiber's back in third, then unquestionable. Take Me to Church on Atlantic Coast in front of Mountain Bear.
Finally, news of 2 medals at the Rowing World Cup event in Lucerne. Siobhan McCrohan won gold in the lightweight single, and Tiernan O'Donnell opened his international career with a silver medal in the Paralympic event, the PR2 singles.